push Leaf on the swing, but Shy gets the kill.
And Zeppa, if he had a nade there, I mean, that would have been brutal, but he was looking to actually punish him. Oh, Jake walked by. He just spotted him, though. What's going on?
They tucked into each other's smoke again. King finally cleans him up, and look where Zelsis is.
Pure chaos in this round, and Zelsis might have crept his way through. I don't think that you're going to be expecting this if you're Mizzino. He's checking, though.
No way, bro. What is this round?
Multiple people sneaking in the back lines right now. Rooney's actually rotating towards A to clear spawn.
Right, and that's going to leave Nazar on the site by himself. Zelsis is going to have to play control across spawn while Nazar is fallen. Zelsis has done a good job to stay alive, delay for a little bit, but the spike's not out. The gravity wall kept him back. Mizzino almost makes a huge play there. But Rooney cleans him up, and now King is left alone in this 1v3.
Spike planted.
Rooney weak, the drop from the controller. You see the challenge. All three of them are there. None of them are found. Rooney with 3 in the pistol for Cloud9. What a setup. And it was such a chaotic round, too. You think about how Jake and King were passing around each other through the Viper smoke. You had Zelsis, who tucked into spawn, was never detected, managed to work his way through. It was just so chaotic from beginning to end.
Just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, and then we started with this.
Yeah.
I forgot about this.
Oh, I'm actually listening to, I think the nade went off and actually missed. But either way, that's a fault line grab vault combination that Cloud9 opens with a lot, so it's surprising to see Leviathan walk right into that. Maybe showing off some of the
There it goes.
deference away from anti-stratting in this case that Leviathan has honestly become synonymous with.
Whew. He's the one who walks away. Worse for wear after that battle. And this time, you know, we've been talking about Leviathan and their purchases after losing the pistol, and we've seen a couple of times it's either 5 sheriffs or 4 sheriffs and a marshal. Not the case this time around.
Yeah. It's more so on the attack sides where they go for some of that stuff, where they can have that spike as an opportunity as well. And then on Pearl, they won that first defensive round as well. But at this point, they've only won 1 pistol out of the 5. It's starting to become a problem. And if it snowballs like it did on Lotus for Cloud9, it's going to be a very dangerous situation for Leviathan to play in.
Satchel out from heaven from Zeppa. He couldn't see a thing, man. He was fully flashed up.
30 seconds left.
They're going to rotate off of this, given the space that Leaf has towards B.
I mean, there's just a constant lurk every single time, but Taco's in position to actually punish. Leaf has to get a backstab on him, and he's not going to find it. Now he does. Now he's dropped in.
Taco had no shot. No shot at all. It seems like another round that will go in favor of Cloud9.
10 seconds left.
That should, for all intents and purposes, secure it.
And Shy's making noise too, so Rooney does know. With a lot. I'm surprised that he's walking into that, given he has 2 HP, but okay. We'll take it. I think it is important for him to try to challenge there, given after this Saiko, he's 2 off of his ult.
I mean, he's starting off hot, 4-0 already, and you're right, 2 points away from having the Rolling Thunder online.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them do exactly that same fault line grab vault combo in B main to just instantly put themselves in a spot to get that orb up.
It's just such a crazy story when you think about Cloud9 and the regular season that they had, how dominant they looked, for them to stumble in the playoffs, just what, 2 rounds away from making Tokyo and find themselves here. Now just 1 map away from making it to the grand finals.
But even that won't be enough. Even that won't be that final stumbling block.
Yeah. But it almost seems like, given the regular season they had, it's almost like they're destined for this. They're destined to make it that far. And they've pushed Leviathan, a formidable foe too. This is a Leviathan squad that looks so much stronger than they have in the past. And Cloud9 have weathered it well.
Poison's off.
King was a menace from this position, and this time he's cleared. Mizzino, very nice tracking, not able to find the other.
Still 50 seconds. Nazar's in a position where he can get punished here. Losing that fight makes Taco's job almost impossible at this point.
I mean, it opens up the site, really. You see him turn the flash, proc the dash. Try to get a kill, and he dealt some damage under Jake. Now feeling overwhelmed, the pressure surrounding him. Rooney with the spike, he drops it down, 28 HP and only 8 seconds left.
Shy's coming from heaven right now. He's actually isolated the spike.
It's got to be faster than this. Taco's been able to stay alive this entire time.
no!
Jake, what a play! The Red Bull clutch for Cloud9. And it really felt like a blunder there for Leviathan.
Absolutely. Where's the communication? Where's the awareness from Shy in that situation? I'm wondering if Taco's calling. They're both wrapping me on pillar there
maybe.
because, I mean, to me, that's a clear situation where they're going to try to pinch you down at new box.
And it felt like for Cloud9 it was slow. It was almost too slow. But Jake with massive awareness.
But even still, Shy there has eyes on the spike. Why does he need to be dropping down in that case?
And you're spitting. Owner's gonna be spitting here in a second too.
Yeah, that's an angry timeout. That's a situation where you guys are in full control after Taco does fantastic. I mean, again, they weren't in that round until Taco started entering the situation.
Remember, he was on site by himself.
Yep.
Feeling pressure as he was getting swarmed in from garage, from heaven. It seemed like he was done. Here you see Owner on your screen. Historically known for being an outrageously animated coach, and this time almost seeming a little tempered, to be honest.
Yeah, sure. I think there, when there's very obvious things to talk about, it's clear what the mistakes are there, and it's crucial there to me that it's coming from Shy, because this guy he was the rock on this map. He was the guy who was consistently clutching up. He was the guy who's just such a strong anchor. We've already seen it in this map where he shut down that bonus push onto the A site. Force up here though. Leviathan, a couple stingers bought up.
I mean, they're just gonna have to start respecting this fault line.
Yeah, and they are. And you saw right there the recalled star instead of actually a grab well, because you're never going to put yourself in a position to get stunned grab well. The important thing about that combination is with just a grab well, you're able to jump out of it. With a stun too, if you jump, you're actually stuck inside the middle.
Yeah, you're done. Just Taco here. 4-man push from Leviathan towards garage, a Trailblazer to clear the way, and they're gonna get some map control, they're gonna get some awareness of where the play is, but they've left Taco on an island.
We're just now getting that breach ult that we spoke about a couple rounds on up. And it's funny that Cloud9 is actually finding the same site where Taco is alone. This time on the A side though. And breach ult coming in, he dodges it.
But the cam should know where he is. He repositions, dies anyway. I mean, he had so many things he had to navigate. The Rolling Thunder, the concuss from Astra, everything thrown his way.
That's one of those situations where it's like, what can I do? Tried to delay as long as possible too with that cloud burst in their face. They do manage to re-clear ramp. Cloud9 is kind of all funneled in this A site. This is a terrible post-plant positioning for them.
Yeah, they're hunkered down.
But with the weapons that they have, is it going to get punished? There's no serious carpeting of util following up with that snakebite coming in.
Yeah, and if they don't frag out, they're at risk of losing these weapons to the spike, but those are 2 huge kills from Cloud9.
Oh, great stun. That's both stunned right now. Oh! Excuse me?
This is way closer than it should be.
There's no time right now, but still, you're right. They're losing all these weapons.
I don't know that they're going to be able to find their way out of this.
Not with that flash, no. Jake gets out, maybe, yes.
So 1 preserved, another round for Cloud9, and only 1 rifle preserved.
Look down on them, my friends.
Up in the hands of Taco right now. Comes at the perfect time as they get all that damage done. Again, I do like the choice of site for them. They find Taco again on the site where he's alone, kind of, for some reason, anchoring his jet here. In most instances, he was there on B, and that's where they forced those first couple of rounds.
Right.
Now with this op, it's not going to be the same story, though. He's going to get aggressive through the orb.
That's what fans of Leviathan want to see.
He has to stay here for so long, though, because of all this B control that Cloud9 constantly goes for. You just got to kill through the smoke, and Lev, they've opened this up.
Zeppa having to push his way forward, manages to get past the stun, but now you've got the molly and the op trained on the exit out of garage. Taco's positioning has been so good in this.
And no smoke as well to get him off of it. Because of the kill he got in mid on Jake.
Down B.
Celsius was in position to try to punish off that first kill, and he just doesn't go for it.
I think the other key thing to consider here is Leviathan are just a few moments away from getting their first round of the map, is you look at their ult economy too. So they should, barring an outrageous play from Celsius, who's able to take a weapon or two out of their hands, they should be able to carry full weapons into the next round. They have decent armor set up, and they have 4 ults to work with. Those Nas were not far away from having his own.
But you also think, based off of the last round that we just saw, only carrying one rifle
30
in
seconds left.
to this one, forces Cloud9 to make an interesting decision here. Celsius not even going to go for anything. Gets his gun up, but what type of buy are we going to see in that next one? Leaf with 700, Rooney 450. Given
10
it's going to be their
seconds
first
left.
round loss, some of those players are just not going to be able to buy.
Yeah.
Jake as well probably won't even be able to, maybe light armor bulldog, something like that. After winning 4 rounds in a row, not quite the buy that you were hoping for, actually.
No, you wouldn't think they'd be in this position, yeah. So we'll see what they choose to do. We expected Zeppa to be able to buy. He does. Celsius carries the Phantom over from the previous round. And yeah, what's next? A smattering of what? Specters and pistols?
My ult's ready.
Seems like that will be the case. So we take a look at this one more time. Once again, the opener from Taco really just kind of set up Leviathan to be able to...
Well, it was also Mazzino, too, getting spam as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely, yeah.
Stun here. Possibly they double satchel up Heaven.
Off of the flash, yeah. The fault line, the flash. Zeppa gets up and gets through.
And just noting the economy, it is basically a full force here from the Cloud9 side. With all these ults up for Lev, it's a very risky proposition, but if it works out, it works out. You get a bunch of ults and still win the round. Here they go.
And for Leviathan, ideally, you get through this without having to invest very much or any. Shy's already got 1. How does he get 2?
That's what I'm talking about, that anchoring for Shy as the Sky.
He's been so good.
It's just beautiful.
I know exactly. Planted. Caution here.
Yeah, and it looks like... I mean, Celsius investing the Neural Theft. There are the blades online. The first one and probably the easiest to be okay to part with.
Oh, he's so high.
Got some high ground. Jake getting tattered and battered, and that's another round for Leviathan. And again, this is kind of the conversation we were having. Yeah, they invested the Blade Storm from Taco. Every other ult was kept.
Yeah.
Shame. I love explosions.
And Cloud9 are going to be back down to maybe Stingers here as well.
Yeah.
So they've kind of allowed Leviathan, like you said, with the ults getting kept, they've kind of allowed them to be back in this game.
Yeah, this is a crazy pad. Also, dude, Shy from this spot in LCQ, you were mentioning it during the round. He's just been outrageous.
It's been one of those spots where, especially in this double duelist composition in meta, the Skies shine so often. And I'm not quite sure why. I think it's because there's so much open space where you're also trying to clear so many different things at the same time, where that flash can actually become a real flash rather than being turned super easy. The hard thing about that is being able to select your targets, right?
Yeah.
You can't tunnel vision on the guy that you know you flashed. You have to be very careful behind map, in elbow, all these different positions.
Yeah, the open space that proves to be beneficial for the flash can also be the detriment when there are so many people that can be facing you down.
Exactly. I think he's going to have a difficult task, though, if Cloud9 starts to really pounce on those executes rather than, I mean, it's every map, and I mean, it's working for Cloud9. Don't get me wrong. Every map, though, it's let's throw out the execute, let's see what comes back, and then let's push, all right? Which is a nice considered approach when it's mixed into the toolkit. But that's why you allow Shy to have space to have moments like that. And like you were talking about, these ults still online, basically. It was only Takalea who popped his in the last round. And we are going back to that classic Cloud9 eco. 2 shares, 3 stingers. Well, they had the money for it. This is a break point that favors Lev here. But Cloud9 are so dangerous on this.
You know, the conversation we've had too about their willingness to invest ultimates in rounds that you wouldn't necessarily expect. They do have the secrets from Leaf to work with.
Scout destroyed.
And with how decisive they've been in the past.
So that Trailblazer actually gets normally Taco on the angle. This time it's Noswar, which could be very dangerous in terms of nade potential here. They're gonna walk across with the cage, maybe walk out. Oh, Noswar, this nade could be huge for Shy. Oh my God.
Goodness! Three from Noswar. What a round. What a setup. You thought he may have botched it when he missed the opening shots with the Phantom, but they had nowhere else to go but back into his lap.
The follow-up nade. They're trying to run away from it. They go into a flash. They have to run back into him. Like, devastating situation. And that's what I was talking about trying to expect where Taco's off is going to be. When you have that Trailblazer go up in A main, usually it's the setup Taco. He was doing that over and over in the game against Sentinels. And he's getting massive value out of it, so great from Leviathan again to swap Noswar on that angle. Insta stars here from Cloud9.
Fault line.
Trying to punish up heaven.
Yeah, fault line, gravity well, and the double satchel up from Zeppa.
Once again, designed to punish Taco. And they do know he has that op online. He got to kill him the last round.
Interesting to see how Cloud9 are so insistent on not really playing through mid. They haven't really done it much this entire half.
Scout destroyed. I've got your trail.
Trailblazer
Pop from heaven.
Yeah, they're the Seekers, the Flash. You know
Showstopper
where
here.
Noswar is. I mean, in the face of the Trailblazer, not able to get anything. His shot gets two.
Spike down A.
There it is, the flash out, but this time the Nebula not
Spikes down.
connecting. Taco not landing shot with the op. Zelsus with a bold swing. An audacious one, but it secures the kill.
Oh, he picked up the spike. They actually gave up eyes on it. 40 seconds now. I thought this round was unwinnable, but no. He's got it. And they're actually going to be able to walk through spawn potentially here.
30 seconds
Yeah, but I think
left.
Leviathan are aware of where their weaknesses are. You see the pings on the minimap towards screen. They understand that they've likely lost spawn control here.
Well, it's all dependent on what King is going to do right now. He's actually expecting them to come through ropes, but that's going to potentially even make it hard for him to hear the spike plant if it goes down onto B. But with this flash, that's the Q. And he thinks still over towards
10
ropes.
seconds left.
Second follow-up flash. It's going to be a late rotate from the rest. King needs to stay alive.
Spike planted.
And he doesn't even threaten this B main push, which might allow Leaf to get in position. It's not a good plant for it, though. Oh, this is so much info right now. Leaf might have a flash coming soon. Oh, that's big.
Yeah, I thought it was going to wrap and not hit him. Zelsus forced to take a different route.
This position from Leaf. If Zelsus can grab attention.
But Kenny, how patient will Leaf be? Yeah, there's attention. Leaf on the swing. Zelsus gets a kill.
Is he sticking?
Shy's gonna get it to half. He's managed to get it that far. But Zelsus with 3 order rounds from Cloud9. You mentioned it, man. It looked unwinnable. You thought it was done.
The spike was down on a ramp. Out on the side almost. And Leviathan just lose eyes on it. Nobody jump spotting it, nothing. I'm not even sure they really knew it was down. And what a start for them. They get the first 3 kills on a fast execute attempt from Cloud9 where there were ults invested.
Enemy remains.
And that happens 2 versus 5. They're losing a lot of these situations. Not as drastic as that, but every map so far, Leviathan has had the first kill advantage, and Cloud9 are still coming out pretty decently ahead.
Op in the hands of Taco, and they've managed to find the site where he is not yet again.
You are divided.
They're going to invest the Cosmic Divide, the Rolling Thunder. They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at this.
Great Molly nade. Grab well as well. That's a guaranteed kill there on Zeppa. Nuda's the showstopper. And it is the first kill again towards Lev, but they do get the site, which forces a post-plant situation. Key ult here, though. Mazzino with his Cosmic Divide can do the same exact thing that just happened right now where he splits up the site. And they can force a post-plant defuse.
Shy just got a flashback. You imagine they're going to want to invest that, right? There it is. There's the Cosmic Divide. Rooney just narrowly missing a window to capitalize on it. As Elsis is forced to wait on the other side. He still has two teammates playing on site, understanding where the pressure's coming from. The gravity well to keep him back.
What a position for Jake.
Shy forced to wait. There's the satchel. There's Jake with the position that you just mentioned. Swinging for the second and finding it. The third just on the other side. Zelsis with the ult. A 1v1. He's not even going to be able to get it half. He's watching it. He knows it's being defused. And Zelsis with another massive play.
Huge play from Zelsis, 100%, but he loses his gun for no reason while celebrating. That's ill-advised, given the economy situation. Not great for Cloud9.
Too easy.
Given these rounds are coming down to 2 VXs, 1 VX in this situation from Zelsis. Well handled. I have to scratch my head though again. That's a 4v5 loss from Leviathan.
Yeah.
A 2v5 into a 4v5, and now they're completely forcing up. They had the opportunity to get into this game. I mean, you can tell they were rolling. Those 2 rounds, though, have shifted things back.
Rooney has kelped his fault line. He didn't use it at the beginning like they've been doing the last couple of rounds. And I wonder if it's going to be used to try to clear mail so that they can establish some mid-presence. Remember, Cloud9 have not really explored this area of the map.
You can see how cautious he's being again against the spam from Zeno.
Taking that back.
That's hurt already so much.
I don't know that I blame him. Zappa spotting one. Sets Osborne instantly drops the Roomba. They play around it.
They know so much here.
Yeah.
And Cloud9 is regrouping towards B right now. Why? Because you actually just had this cam put out late from Zelsis that spots the op of Takolia. And so that's drawing attention. And they're happy to push into this B side, which they're having so much success with.
What a play from Noswar.
He's alone though now.
He was flashed. He's got to stay alive, and he can. He's overwhelmed.
One down.
Trades abound.
Shy was just a little late on it, though. That's going to give up the site.
Look at Zelsis again on the flank.
30 seconds left.
It's a 2v2. Zelsis will be late.
He's really far. Yeah, you're right.
Rooney's weak. That molly. Ow. Woo. 10 HP. But they think it's cleared. And Taco has an op in this position. He still lands a shot.
Oh, no.
Not expecting a second to dash back. Zelsis with the cam. He's been so good. Can Zelsis do it again? The tap. It's just a challenge. It's just a dare. And the op shot missed, but King does not.
It's completely intended to get that op shot.
Yeah. I mean, you could see it just baiting out the barrel of the gun.
I'm wondering there why there was no smoke on
This
spawn.
place is nice, but not nice.
When they hit that site, when Noswar's doing a great job.
One last.
I think he just doesn't have any more stars at this point because he's using so much for control at the beginning of the round. You did note how it was the boom bot instead going into B main instead of that Gravwell. But there's only a smoke on Heaven, and that allows all those trades to come in because individually those kills that Noswar, that King were having as they come out weren't all gonna be, you know, round-ending kills or anything like that.
Right.
Because you were getting leaf trading them, but they were getting traded right back by Leviathan.
King again from the same spot. Saw him do it in the previous series. Does it again. Taco finding another with the op. This is a light buy from Cloud9 and has the makings of a flawless round. Dude, the hardest kills are the ones where they're not facing you and not moving. Leave cleaning it up, a 1v3 with the stinger. And a great round from Leviathan.
That pace from Cloud9 is not expected, but it comes without a timeout, without anything like that. Full faith right now from MCE on his players to try to close out this half, but in these situations now 2 in a row for Leviathan, I mean, they are staying right hip to hip with Cloud9 despite a lot of situations that would absolutely tilt a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a 2v5 into a 4v5, these situations over and over, you think are in their control.
This is going to be the first round that I can remember where they're going to push into the op from Taco. He is here. Zeppa still taking damage. He's had such a hard time finding space and converting it into advantages.
I've got your
At least
trail.
early on.
Seek them.
You see some example of that. Both Seekers invested here. Last round of the half. Last ult. Rooney 1 point away from having the Rolling Thunder. So keep a close eye on that. One kill could be all the difference, but Leviathan are keeping it at bay. Showstopper from the duelist, finding another kill, looking for another, not able to connect. Jake with just a sliver of health, and Leviathan pounce.
While it might be tied, I'm struggling to find a way to give advantage to one side or the other. Leviathan is dominating on the first kills board. 10-2 in that situation.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
But Cloud9 is doing such a good job in these man-down situations that it's even at this point.
A 6-6 half, Cloud9 potentially one half away from advancing. We'll throw it down to Golden Boy at the desk to break down that first half.
Thank you so much, fellas, for that. 6-6.5, and this is it, Valen. It's Leviathan's life on the line here as we in this tournament as we go into that next half. But I want to get your thoughts on how you felt they performed in that first.
I think Leviathan has played great, but I want to say that Cloud9's pistol success has been kind of the worst thing for Leviathan because they're able to get these large starts at the beginning, and then Leviathan is starting to wake up and get these rounds back and start playing their true game, and they managed to pull back a 6-6. And with the double duelist comp, 6-6 on defense actually is a win for you. But like I said, I felt like they could have got like an 8-4, maybe even something higher because they did look great on the defense, but Cloud9 just keep winning pistol rounds, and it's so hard for them to start hot early.
And they're going into their stronger side now. We've talked in the pre-show about how good their track plays are on this map with the Cypher and the Sky. They do a really good job of baiting people in and punishing. And the players who might be doing that are these two, Jake and Zelsis, who have been performing absolutely fantastically thus far. And it's been great to see both these guys, generally the more supportive players playing the Astra and the Cypher, having huge impact in this game, especially considering the relationship between the two of them. Jake, of course, to harken back, he's still a rookie. This is his first season. The expectations are high for Cloud9. But he's still new to all of this, and he's really stepped up, I think, alongside Zelsis in the development of this team, becoming much more of a leader for Cloud9. And that's all well and good for them. They just need one more half to close out. But for Leviathan, it's another situation where they're so close to getting that step towards an international event, and it might just be over 3-0.
Yeah, and something I want to talk about is the emotional aspect of Cloud9. I'm seeing a much more calm Cloud9 right now. Before, whenever I watch them play, they get super amped up and very hyped after round wins. But I see Zelsis like telling this team like, yo, calm down, like just lock in, we're gonna close this out. These guys are so focused into beating Lev here. I think if they're gonna be able to pull out their trap setups and catch Leviathan off guard, it's gonna end up coming with a victory.
Leviathan need to pull this back or their year ends here. 6 rounds away to try and pull this one to match point, to try and make it to the grand finals for Cloud9.
And let's see how this all unfolds on the other side of this one as we get ready for that second half tied 6-6. It truly is anyone's game. Let's send it back over to your casters.
Thanks so much, Golden Boy. Yeah, now we get to see Leviathan, their double duelist comp on the attacking side, and what they can do with it. We find ourselves at 6 apiece. We'll see what the setup looks like. We also have to consider now the Viper utility on the attacking side. We didn't see that in the previous half. So we'll see how they choose to play this out.
And you're seeing 3 players towards this A side right now. They flashed up Heaven to insert Taco up the ramp, while the rest of the side of Leviathan is trying to do exactly what they did on Pro. Remember, they would take mid from the backside. It's almost like they're trying to do the same thing on a different map right now.
Also,
but instead regrouping and just grabbing the orb.
Yeah, worth noting here, there was a very intentional plan of Cloud9 to get the orb in the hands of Zeppa at the opening of the round.
And important here as well, they did break that camera, and Zelsis and Leaf end up re-clearing ramp. So all that space that Leviathan tried to take at the beginning of the round has been completely re-cleared by Cloud9. They have a full understanding, and you have 4 players on this B side. Look at the setup from Jake. He's very close. Right on the left of this execute with this stun. It could be disgusting. Nobody here to follow up.
Oh gosh, how have they managed to stabilize that?
And look at the smoke too from Jake. He actually blooms it way out so that he can tuck behind it and have room for them.
Oh, the timing not on the side of Jake that we were just highlighting him. Tricky spot. Leaps in a worse spot there as King gets another. One beneath him. I thought he was going to hit that shot. Well handled by Zeppa though. He's got 3 on the round already. He's a little weak, but Mazino's left in this 1v2. 56 HP. The cam in the face.
10 seconds left.
Try to run away right now. 6 seconds. You just ring around the Rosie.
Yeah.
Has no time to pick up the spike.
But if he's quiet about it, he might find what he's looking for. What? Mazzino just in the nick of time.
less than a second there as that engagement starts. And Zeppa just swinging on him. I mean, such a crucial round. We've seen 2 pistols come to close clutch moments from Leviathan players. But this one converts from a Xeno.
I think it was less than a second when he got that kill.
Just crazy.
All right, no time to dwell on that. We're back into the action. Leviathan and Taco back to their opening ways, finding 2 massive kills.
And that, I mean, the pistol might have been just, if we were considering on Pearl, on Lotus, how much difference it would have made for the outcome of the game. And Zeppa picks up another one. This has gotten interesting all of a sudden. Look at this A-main pressure coming in. Jake is here, but Shy's on the flank. The wall actually isolates him.
Last player standing.
Zeppa's picked up a bulldog here, Doug.
He's fully healthy too. Checking everything around him, and I think he spotted Shy. Snaps, not able to connect onto Taco, who gets 4 on the round and gets Leviathan a 2-round lead.
I mean, it feels like Leviathan is taking
Here.
some of the stinger power from Cloud9 in this game and applying it just as well as they hold on there. But it wasn't a clean anti-eco.
No, not at all.
And it is important for Zeppa to start getting going here in the second half. Getting a few kills here, both on the pistol and now this. A rough first half from him,
Yikes. That sucked.
where if he was slightly better, all of a sudden you're looking at an 8-4 half in Cloud9's favor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get out of my way.
Not the case. Blades online for Taco.
Remember, just getting the 4K last round allows this for him.
Oh, he's gonna spot him. Zelsis tried finding Solace in the cage and he could not.
And that's the difficulty of the Cypher there. If that's an orb instead, if that is a actual Astra smoke or an Omen smoke, anything like that, all of a sudden you're not able to look over top like that.
So just anything to provide a little head cover.
That's actually the knives gone though. So everybody else, pretty weak weaponry other than Nosworth, who's playing up close on this corner. Easily a player who can be targeted.
And dropped. Not just targeted, but dismissed.
Player standing.
Cloud9 have trampled their way through this site, through the round. Jake with 3, and a great response from Cloud9. Keeping 4 rifles. Zeppa has his ult going into the next 2.
Yeah, the economic situation is part of the reason why this struggled for Lev. Again, getting that first kill over top with the knives, and then the retake is just so strong there. Taco peeking ahead, trying to use
Take them out.
those knives to get just one tap, but allows them right back into this. And there's no util there because of how they bonused in this instance to actually do anything on the screens player coming out. And there's no ults online right now because Taco is the one who's taking the majority of the orbs and the kills early on in the half. Meanwhile, Cloud9 has Showstopper and a Cosmic Divide if they want. Whoa, he's might punish.
Fast!
Over top! That is a tough ult to hit. He fires it up on the wall, high where Taco is updrafting. That reaction is difficult from Zeppa.
Grenade.
They've gotten out onto site though. You see Mizzino tucked behind the smokes. He had no idea. Jake was completely unaware of his positioning. That should open up the site. The thing is, Zeppa was in a position to control things, but he gets clothesline too.
Lever clapping back here. There's 2 players coming into ropes, trying to push back against King and Mail.
Maybe Rooney can play spoiler. He's back in spawn. King with a nice flick onto the first, not connecting on the second. While Rooney is patiently bought time. The first flash now is position given away. Paranoid of what may be around the corner. And he swings into 3. Another round for Leviathan.
Just instantly canceling what progress Cloud9 might have made and forcing them back down to Stingers. And as Leviathan gets some momentum here in this second half, gets some momentum here in possibly the series,
Enemy spotted B.
Cloud9 are looking for an on-demand Stinger eco
Yeah.
to maybe put an end to this here and now.
Remaining.
Otherwise, they still got some time to play.
Timeout for Cloud9. They do not want to prolong this. They're down on split, but again, up 2-0 in the series. They can manage to close this out. Do well, so well for them, but to be able to close the door on Leviathan's attempts at a comeback, at a reverse sweep.
It's on their mind right now. And then on these maps that you're supremely comfortable on, I mean, again, undefeated for Cloud9. It's one of those that are easy to fall into.
Yeah.
A sense of, you know, we should be winning this, questioning your performance. And those types of questions are what reverse sweeps end up being made of. So you have to be trying to, if you're Zelsif, if you're MCE here, keep that team calm. It was something Valen was talking about, how he was impressed with that aspect from Cloud9, and I definitely agree. It's a team that can get emotionally caught up in the moment, which could be good and what could be absolutely devastating. I think we've seen both ends of it so often throughout the season.
Blocking vision.
I mean, they were set up for aggression A, but Leviathan just overwhelmed what Jake had B. They were expecting it on the opposite side of the map, and now Leviathan are able to prance forward.
Oh, that's done though, the flash as well.
Pretty out of the smoke, but Nazwar and Taco still get 2. Nazwar with 3. How? I mean, Nazwar wiped the floor with him.
Well, that's the thing. That stun, that flash, it considers the sight, but it doesn't consider that backside. So the only player from Cloud9 who's getting value is the player from Heaven who actually put that stun down. It's Rooney. While the rest of them are just trying to get through Taco's smoke, and Nazwar is just feeding on them.
His position was beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about. That stun, that flash out of spawn to pop. It's down this lane on B, not the one where Nazwar was positioned, so he's perfectly fine to take that.
I believe Taco got ahead of that fault line. Either way, no follow-up aggression from Cloud9. And 4 ults on the side of the attack.
Yeah, this is scary. Double duelist dive with the showstopper added to the mix.
You can see they're looking for the Cypher utility, but the cam's set up at A.
And it has been set up there for the majority of these rounds. So it's good to see Leviathan making sure it's not there in this situation. They've just popped his Seekers in the mid round. They're really worried about a pop, which we just saw in the last one, but also it's giving them some space to try to punish. Woo.
Nazwar on the counter. There it is. Only gets 1. Pushes into Zelsis, and Zelsis cleans him up. Now neural theft used. Zeppa repositioning, staying alive as the spike is hurriedly making its way towards A, but Zelsis is going to be there on the cutoff.
Oh my goodness. And the wall makes it look like he's not going to be there, but the flash confirms the stun though.
The spike made its way through.
No punish.
Zelsis gives it up, deciding to live to fight another day, to reposition and join his team.
I mean, right now there's so many ults right here that could make this tough. They're into the pit immediately here.
I mean, it was so deep.
Look how far he is.
Meanwhile, Mazzino's going to be on a crazy flank if he hits the right timing. They've got him corralled. The pit is still a problem.
Coming behind him.
1 HP on the 2 remaining members. Given the decay, Mazzino's there. The timing is great. And Rooney has nothing he can do.
Leviathan are starting to roll, taking that momentum that they should have had in that first half. With, again, in that first half, 10-2 on first kills. They really should have snowballed even on that one.
The discipline for Nazwar to not fire on the first target that he sees, and instead satcheling in forward to get a further showstopper into male is just crazy.
Almost got 3 with
Yeah.
1 rocket. It's the biggest lead Leviathan has had all series so far, and you're starting to see why they've been putting emphasis on split instead of Pearl, despite it being undefeated up to that last map. Here in the LCQ.
Once again, looking for the cam is Taco, but this time it's set up mid. Very reminiscent of the first time we saw them play this comp in LCQ and the setup that they have for mid.
If there's any round for them to walk into a trap in mid, it would be this round.
Yeah.
You do see Rooney posted up in spawn on that same type of angle that he had, that he can play off of this camera from Zelsis. He's got the stun ready here. That thing can go really far, but Leviathan's not biting. And if you don't see the camera A, if you don't see the camera B, you have to ask yourself and check off the list. It's got to be in mid.
You are divided.
So they avoid the trap play and makes it all the more difficult for Cloud9. They love to flood on these retakes, and you have players in position to do so. They're in front of the Astro Wall already.
Yeah, they've already scaled past it. You see Rooney and Zelsis playing on the other side of it.
Oh, they're making it look like it's coming through ramp instead, but instead, 3 players coming through screens.
And they know exactly where King is. They have him flash too, and the nade cleans him up.
That was a stun nade combo.
And that's so pretty because you don't have to expose yourself to the fight. Zelsis flash has to spam Shy on the swing. The timing is great. Shy looking for more. Leviathan have just destroyed Cloud9.
Match point.
The first match point here for Leviathan. And their first attempt to claw back in this reverse sweep. We've seen multiple versions of Leviathan here in LCQ. And we've seen flashes of those on the first 2 maps. But not quite able to string together a map like this, and even this one. In that first half, you scratch your head at a couple of the rounds that go opposite their direction. And I mean, they're finding consistently now the right calls here.
Yeah.
Against this Cloud9 squad.
They're reading us very well.
Avoiding all the possible trap plays here, even baiting out the nade and the aftershock with barely any, actually no damage
yeah.
done.
Taco took nothing.
I thought for sure he got hit by 1 ping of the aftershock. Look how well they're receiving the util here for Cloud9. I mean, almost all of what normally would net Cloud9 a kill used up in this case.
It's just an empty threat.
I'm wondering now how they're going to try to combo and use this Rolling Thunder. Right now, Rooney's in a position to maybe use Zeppa to follow up with him through mail. With 50 seconds left, this thing could really do some damage here.
Rooney did just get his fault line back up too. So there could be some layers to this. Look at the positioning. Look at where Zeppa is, and that's where the spike is headed. Waiting for the Q. There it is, the Rolling Thunder. But look at how much space has been taken towards B. The problem is they're already set up here.
30
Look at
seconds
Leaf,
left.
but he's between them. He's behind them. Zelsis cleans him up. Leaf patient. Finally gets one. The spike hits the ground, and so does Leviathan.
It's such a good attempt from Leviathan, but they get funneled right into it. And King, with his lurk all the way out on A site there, honestly felt like
10 seconds
they
left.
knew. And they were letting him be in that space.
The discipline from Leaf to stay up in heaven, make sure he's really able to capitalize.
Yeah, he's just so wide there too. Beautiful stuff from him. I mean, again, they're looking to bait out that breach ult the entire round. And it finally comes, but comes so late in the round that they only have one more choice. If that came a little earlier, they could act like they're running to A, then go back towards B, all that sort of stuff.
Right, and so with that, we enter the 21st round. Ult in the hands of Zeppa. So only one currently online. Oh, Leviathan has a couple that are close.
Toxin screen down.
Leviathan has been running this very reactive style based off of the ults and based off of the util that is so plentiful from Cloud9.
Huh. What is he waiting for?
No, it's funny because almost always Taco's like pre-firing the camera. In this case, like it's very visible. He's in the camera.
Blinded.
The stun comes through from Rooney, by the way. Again, cross map. Look how far Rooney is in this position.
Yeah.
Able to stun this way. But not getting the punish again. And that's what Leviathan is trying to do. Just bait out this util. It's been working so well for them on this attack side.
Yeah, I think in this case, though, not only do you not get a kill because it looked like that's what Taco was playing for, just like a little cheeky timing window, but the cam was still up too, so it continues to find value in info.
40 seconds, and they've not gotten Zeppa's ult out.
3 here. 3 here. Oh, that's a spike too. The aftershock leaves it out of reach. There's the ult. He's got to follow around it.
He's just taking control of the spike right now, so round is over. Unless they somehow spawn an Omen ult from somewhere else. 15 seconds and you can't grab it. No chance.
You wonder here, this reactionary approach that you were just referring to from the attacking side, and how it feels like there were just a couple of minor moments in that round that led to this situation. Right, again, I think about Taco playing around the cam, trying to maybe get a little bit more than he should have just taken, and just so much time was spent in playing around that too.
I mean, I criticize him for that, but also it's very difficult to spot that cam. So, I mean, one round where you're not really thinking about it, and all of a sudden, you know, it's seeing your feet before you can even realize what's going on. But I will say as well, Leviathan's approach on this reactive style is a great way to burn down Cloud9 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at the last 2 rounds, all the ults are now gone. So if you're trying to just close out this game, the last 3 rounds here, you have the most opportunity that you've ever had because of that hard work that you've just done in these last couple. But they've got to find a win with it too.
I've got your trail.
Only one spotted. Seeker's used, and Taco goes forward. Celsius is going to have to take a step back. Cloud9 have already joined with 2.
Nobody able to punish with these trips, and Leviathan's not even walking into them anyways.
Nazar with the spam to make sure nobody funnels out through the smoke. Will try to flood with it.
5v5 retake for the map here.
Look at Taco's positioning. He's in such a good spot. There's a star right beneath him. Do they check? Do they know? There's the deep flash. He's somehow still alive. A 1-for-1 as you start to see his utility go through, and Leviathan have a really good post-man position, but they're so far back.
It's planted for heaven right now. Mazzino does have a star on the spike.
There's a gravity wall. It's been drawn out. The smoke too.
Relying on the spam.
Trying to play around it. Rooney has gotten it to half. There it is. It goes down. Rooney's gotten it 3/4 of the way, but King's making a play. Cloud9 gets the defuse.
And there's actually a chance right now for this 5-round comeback to work out for Cloud9. It's a beautiful retake, 5v5 again. And this time Leviathan does not burn down the util. And guess what that means? So much used to try to trap out these players. So much time here with this flash to follow up for Zelsis. They also had an aftershock combination with a Gravel inside of hell. So there was no place for the Leviathan players to hide. Instead, they even get the smoke down on to that spike where they're playing for post plant.
Op in the hands of Leaf. This round, the same mid camera setup that we talked about a couple of rounds ago.
King. He's taking this angle against King.
What is he waiting for? There's the op! And it finds a shot.
They might spring into the site right here, right into this breach fault line.
But where's the follow-up? What's the damage? You got the nade up top from Zeppa. And there it is. You see it go off.
And Rooney doesn't even leave the back of sight right there.
No, just safe.
And sure, you do burn a lot of util there from Cloud9, but you also don't get out onto sight. Leviathan definitely wanted that after that lost kill from King.
There it is. But there's no real follow-up to it now. They found the value. They found the info.
There might be value in future rounds. Oh, this smoke is bad. The awareness there from Rooney on Mazzino's lurk through that orb is just beautiful. And Leaf again, too.
Dude, they're not going to find a way into a site. This is going to be another Cloud9 win.
Falling to pieces here, too. Leviathan still, despite the fact that they've lost now 4 in a row, their eco is still phenomenal based off of this half so far. And they've got max loss bonus as well. So Taco, Nazwar, they're easily able to get guns. King can also drop one. It's not the biggest of deals, and Nazwar will have his ult next round. He was one off in this situation. And remember, all that baiting out of the ults from Zeppa, from Rooney, none of that has... All that time has not actually netted Cloud9 any extra ones that are huge, right? Leaf Seekers, okay, whatever. But you don't have those power ults.
Good thing, right? We'll figure out what they do eventually.
And you get the timeout from Lev now. They've got plenty of time to have just discussed exactly what to throw into this final round. And Owner will now be able to add his 2 cents as well.
I mean, given how the last few rounds have gone, though, it may require more than 2. the potential of really watching tragedy unfold in a lot of ways for Leviathan to be so close to extend us to a next map, to a fourth map. And this ferocious comeback from Cloud9 that has just continued to stifle the LATAM representatives.
It's so tough to put yourself in their shoes right now.
Yeah.
And think about how hard it is to reset once you've allowed this to happen. That's what you've got to put in your mind, though. You've allowed this to happen. Just deal with it. That's what owners are going to be talking about. That's what their players are thinking. On top of that, you have to think about the strat. And while that sounds simple to do, it is impossible. Impossibly difficult. One final round here of regulation. Leviathan with a possible pocket strat. Cloud9 too, they've been working the map so well. To completely neuter the advantage that Leviathan has been having. Remember, it's been first pick after first pick for Taco with so many other players. And now, Cloud9 in the last 4 have done so good. Leaf, by the way, is juggling an op into position. He's got a Phantom as well.
King has 3,100 credits. Taco's playing with a judge.
That's definitely a head scratcher, which means they're going to double dive here with the showstopper as well. They're going to try to punish Leaf, who has an op. He's just playing far back enough, and
that was so close, and there it is. There's the ult. He gets past it, fires, and lands onto Zelsis. They take the site. They take the space.
Where are you going? Oh my
They put
goodness!
him away. Zeppa's only able to find one.
Might actually buy time for Rooney to push on the site right now, and it's planted for heaven. They're Gravwell there, no.
Oh my gosh!
What a way to potentially end this map.
With Mazzino with a shot like that. Jake finding one, not able to find the second. There it is. Nosworth gets 4. Disaster avoided. We're going to map 4.
I love that idea. You've seen it before, and it's a very, very normal idea to try to punish the Opera up heaven, and especially against this comp when there's only a single duelist. It's only Zeppa playing the Raze, and you just saw Leaf pick up that op. I think maybe he goes a heaven.
Yeah.
What a good read. And Leaf doesn't even die there, by the way. Leaf played great, but it's just a matter of the follow-up.
Yeah.
You lose so much space.
You wonder there if that op shot connects, how that changes the opening moments of that round. I mean,
that op shot could have, I mean, easily just meant overtime right away. No showstopper, nothing like that. Just crazy. I mean, what an attempt from Cloud9. But Leviathan holding on.
Just barely, but they held on.
And I think through one of the most difficult situations too. Because Split, again, undefeated for Cloud9. It was one of their stronger maps. Now we've seen 2 undefeated maps flip-flopped back and forth. Pearl for Leviathan,